What do you know about main event talent? Huh? It's 2011, it's not 1994.
If you come at the king, you best not miss.
Acknowledge us.
Hey, guys, this is the Turnbuckle King. We here at the Red Carpet Ring. We're going to talk about why Logan Paul should only focus on his brand, and we're going to talk about why you can't worry about your enemies. Let's get the likes as we come into the ring. We're going to have this very, very popular discussion that's been trending going around in the wrestling industry. Now, this here is going about Kevin Nash. He went on his podcast called Kliq This, and he talked about Logan Paul, talking about that he makes $5 million off his contract and he isn't one of the boys. He said F him, and that's from the boys. He's not one of them. He had his interview, on his podcast. He had his take on Logan Paul. And then, of course, Logan Paul knew about this and he responded to it. But let's talk about Kevin Nash, what he said first, and then we'll go to Logan Paul, and then we'll come to a conclusion on both. Let's get into it, guys. Let's see what he had to say about this whole thing regarding Logan Paul.
Work. He's not one of the boys. Where would he learn that shit at? Jargon. In the building? Everybody's a motor coach. Interaction. There's no socialization. You don't become one of the boys just because you heard he's making $5 million in a limited fucking... And those other house shows? Fuck. That's from the boys.
That's from someone working the road schedule. I don't give
how many people are following you.
And that's what Kevin Nash had to say about Logan Paul. He is talking about Logan Paul, who recently just signed earlier this year a $5 million contract, and it was 9 months after his previous renewal. This was back in January of this year. If you remember this is when the photo was taken with him and Triple H. You know, it does seem like he had just signed a contract, but due to Logan Paul's performance and, of course, his business with his prime drink that is in WWE rings, they decided to renew him up sooner than later. But, you know, Logan Paul, like I said, he knew about this. And then he had a little bit to say about Mr. Kevin Nash. Let's see what Logan Paul said in response to that.
They're like, yo, Kevin Nash is talking shit about you. I said, damn, who is Kevin Nash? And I mean that. I'm unfamiliar with this guy, which I think is his problem. I'm not as versed in the WWE and in wrestling as maybe I should be, as my peers are. But then how am I so much better than all of them? You know, I don't have the answers to these questions. It is a question. I don't know how I could be the best in the WWE or at least one of the best. Like, I'm surely a top fiver, and I don't even do it full time. Now imagine if I did learn a little bit. Imagine if I devoted, came one of the boys, learned what the difference between a shoot and a work was. Will that make me a champion? Fuck me. You're one of the old guys who is bitter that I am better at your job than you ever were. And that makes you pathetic. This will be my sport, and I will continue to make guys like you eat your words when I devote a little bit of time to it. So for me, you.
And that for you guys, that is what Logan Paul said. Now let's touch on Kevin Nash a little bit. This is Kevin Nash currently today. I believe he is in his early mid-60s. But for those of you who don't know Kevin Nash, the current generation, you know, he started his career as Vinny Vegas back in WCW. He was also Oz at one point. Then he later became Diesel at WWE, where he won the WWE, then WWF champion, now known as the WWE Championship. And he's most famously known for being in one of the most famous stables in the world to this day, the New World Order, NWO. And he also was part of the Outsiders Black and Red NWO, where he was a WCW champion. Now, Kevin Nash, like I said, big man, great physique, everything. He never was a top guy in the company. He never was the guy in any company. Let's be honest here. And I think, he's made a lot of money in his career. He's done his thing with NWO. He's a part of Kliq backstage, with Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Sean Waltman, aka X Pac, himself, and of course the late great Scott Hall, also known as Razor Ramon. So my thing is, he has his podcast now. He does Kliq This. You're making you're doing well for yourself, Kevin Nash. Like I say, you made money. Your podcast does very, very good numbers. Why are you worried about another man's money? Why are you worried about Logan Paul? Let him do his thing. Now, as far as Logan Paul goes, Logan Paul, you got your own brand. You have been, in my opinion, one of the best WWE superstars, despite being full time, not being full time, and also despite not doing it very, very long. You're pretty much still a newcomer compared to the veterans. And that's great that he's accomplished so much in a short time. He's been on PLEs like Royal Rumble, WrestleMania. He's been a United States champion. He's been a very, very good feuds with Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, LA Knight. He has a lot going on for stuff on the wrestling side. Now, aside from that, you got the Pride brand. You got your own drink, one of the most popular drinks in the world. Why are you worried? Don't worry about no Kevin Nash. And when you do your thing like that, people are going to hate. Not only do you have Prime, he also has a clothing line called Maverick Clothing, which he's wearing in this picture here. Then, of course, also we all know that he's not only known for the clothing line in WWE, he has his own podcast called Impulsive. That's also very popular. And he's doing very good numbers as well. So with that being said, all the stuff that Logan Paul has going on for himself, on top of that, you have a fiance, you have a baby on the way. I believe he says he's having a daughter. He said one of his recent interviews they did with Hulk Hogan. Why are you worried about some old Kevin Nash? Don't worry about him. When you keep doing your thing like Logan does, people are going to hate on you. They're going to always got something negative to say. And basically, to sum it up, that means you're doing something right if you got people like Kevin Nash want to hate on you. So Logan, he's a great WWE superstar. I know he's goofy at times. He's always a controversy, but he is great at what he does. And he brings a lot of people to the product. People want to see him win or lose, don't matter. If they want to boo him or cheer for him, don't matter. But you don't need to worry about old, past their prime, never was like Kevin Nash here. You don't need to worry about him. Like I said, Kevin Nash, you did your thing, but you was out of pocket coming at Logan Paul like that. What Logan ever do to you? He never said anything bad about you before this beef you had with him. And I know Kevin Nash, you know for doing this. You talk crap about LA Knight, I think in the past year. He even has some smoke with CM Punk. And I think, you mad because you're just not a top guy and that the younger guys are way more popular than you ever were your whole career. And I think that's the whole animosity. It's like jealousy Kevin Nash has when he has guys saying stuff like this.
What do you know about main event talent? Huh? It's 2011. It's not 1994.
So that's why at the end of the day, you have to worry about yourself, worry about your brand, building yourself every day to become better. And you can't worry about your enemies. Let them go elsewhere. And that's all I have to say regarding why Logan Paul should only focus on his brand. You guys let me know what you think in the comment section below. Was Kevin Nash out of line? Was Logan Paul out of line? Were they both immature for this? Did Logan do the right thing for standing up for himself? I would like to hear that. Soon two videos will pop up. You guys click in the links below. Check the content out here. Greatly appreciate it. And until then, guys, you already know what it is. It's OUNT.
Something happened this weekend, and I've been struggling with it since I retired, but this weekend gave me closure.
Wow.
It really did. Like, it was fun. Obviously it was fun. I mean, you can't, doing this for as long as I have and being involved.